Oof. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Collector's Vault. My name is Mike. Once again, back in the basement. Again, setup hasn't changed much. I don't think it's going to change for the foreseeable future. Just wanted to get back behind or in front of the camera again. I haven't been on in a little while. Life's busy, as always. And that kind of goes into the two questions that I wanted to answer. I did answer the one question someone had about, old formats. But this goes out to Casual Yugi Stuff and Dr. Chickens. You both kind of have similar questions. I figured I'd just answer them both in one video. So mainly it's about just maybe like my life, where I've been as far as like my state in the whole collecting world. Where am I with the whole collection process, I guess is kind of how Dr. Chickens want me to answer it. Like, and Casual Yugi Stuff asked me, like, to talk about Pokemon and Yugioh and like my goals as far as collecting goes. So I guess I can answer all those in one question or one video. So ideally, first of all, let's quickly kind of go over what's going on right now with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. So what happened recently? Here we go. Pokemon really quick. So I know, again, everyone's all in the craze about prismatic evolutions. It's still impossible to get these things. Prices are still, in my opinion, pretty affordable compared to what they were when the set first came out, and all the hype where ETBs were $150. I think they're still able. You can still buy them. I think close to $100. So I think that's anything under $100 is, like, to me, I think it's like a no-brainer. So if you can get them ETBs for $100, I would say go for it. I don't think the reprints are going to do much. And new sets that came out recently, Journey Together, is still incredibly hyped up. Booster boxes are close to $200 still. I am not the biggest fan of that set. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of other people love it. They love the cards. Cool. More power to you. Oh, this is crazy for Pokemon. So I mentioned the Team Rocket set before, how that was something that I was personally really hyped up for. And a couple days ago, at the time of this recording, maybe like 5 days ago, there was like 4 or 5 days ago, I think, there was a reveal of what, like some card reveals for the set. And they were showing that there's going to be like the Ho-Oh, there's a Cynthia and Garchomp, and they had some Team Rocket cards. I think they were in the Nintendo Pokemon announced that this set that is now officially called Destined Rivals is going to be a combination of some of the Japanese sets. Like, I think it was called like Heat Wave Arena is the set that had like the Ho-Oh cards, and then the Gloria Team Rocket set is being kind of like combined into this one set for the I guess for the West. And so that immediately made everyone realize, oh, we are not getting a Team Rocket set. So all that hype kind of started to die down a little bit. And then like 2 days later, so like 2 days ago, we got another, I guess like a not much of a reveal, but more of a tease or a leak. That's a better word. A leak of some of the official card art or the pack art for the set, and it was all Team Rocket stuff. They had some really cool artwork of like Team Rocket, like the Grunts. They had Giovanni and Mewtwo, and I'm pretty sure some of these other guys are like the executives from Gold and Silver, which I'm a huge fan of, like the Johto and Gold and Silver games. So that is like this set, if it is going to have a lot more to do with Team Rocket than we were led to believe with that like reveal. I mean, to me, it truly is going to be a Team Rocket set. I think even one of the pack cards has like the giant red R. Like, so I don't know if that was supposed to be like a curveball that they threw at us, but like, yeah, we are definitely getting a Team Rocket set, and it's gonna be a Team Rocket set that has the other non-Team Rocket themed cards. I don't think we're gonna get the whole Dark Pokemon thing, but regardless, I think we can definitely go. We can all be, we can all sleep well at night knowing that this is going to be like a more dedicated Team Rocket set, and that's awesome. I'm pretty pumped for that. That just means it's going to probably be all the more hard to get now. And as far as that, I'll jump over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Really quick. It seems like as far as modern cards go, I don't really know, but there's not much to talk about right now. I think even as far as like booster packs go, I think we're getting close to the end of this next generation. And they think they did just announce a new set called I can't remember what the heck it's called. But I think in two more booster sets, that's going to be, I guess, the next like wave of Yu-Gi-Oh sets. I guess like the Lost Millennium, Duelist Genesis, Generation Force. Like Duelist Alliance, like that kind of like the first pack of the first booster set of like the next set of Yu-Gi-Oh. I guess you call it like the arc or generation, whatever, is going to be coming up pretty soon. I don't know if that means we're going to get any new game mechanics. I think if we were, we probably would have heard something by now, and I haven't heard anything. So I think it's just they're just going to continue with like just expanding upon what we already have, which is fine. I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh could really take another new game mechanic right now. I mean, we've had Links, and I don't know. I lost interest in Yu-Gi-Oh like over the last like couple of years with Links and everything. I mean, Links have been around for a while now. They've been, I think, around since like 2018 maybe. So they've been around for a while. But yeah, so I mean that's cool. I'm still following up with Yu-Gi-Oh to see what's going on. But as far as like just modern decks and modern stuff, I'm happy to hear that everything's going well. People are playing the game. I just have no interest in some of the newer stuff. Retro's getting is still really fun. That'll probably go into my whole like collection and like my life goals of Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon collecting. But yeah, so I just still love retro, and I even put a poll on Facebook to see if there's any other retro formats that people want to see get popular. According to my poll, everyone was really pumped for the possibility of the Duelist Alliance format, which is pretty much, I think, one of the biggest like shifts in Yu-Gi-Oh that we've ever seen. So for Duelist Alliance, like I call it Duelist Alliance format because when that booster set Duelist Alliance came out, it introduced pendulums, which I hate pendulums. I think that was another terrible game mechanic that they ever introduced. But the funny thing was, when that set came out, it introduced pendulums, but the pendulum cards were really garbage. It wasn't until like the next set with Cleforts that is where like people realized, wow, pendulums are actually like broken. But before that, Duelist Alliance came out, and it just introduced a whole bunch of new archetypes, and they were pretty much centered around some of the main game mechanics of previous game mechanics of like synchro summoning, fusion summoning, and exceed summoning, and all of the decks were just incredible. Because hat format is a really popular retro format right now. I do love hat format. I think hat format is really fun and diverse. One of the funnest times I ever had in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then when Primal Origin, which is the set where hat became a thing, when that ended and we got Duelist Alliance, and then we got introduced to Satellar Knights, Shadows, Burning Abyss, even Yang Zing, as like terrible as they were, all of those decks were just made all the previous decks obsolete. Like that's why like Duelist Alliance is one of the craziest times ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like, because I remember the first regional I went to, it was like right when that set came out, and I actually really liked the Satellar Knight deck. I think I still have my cards somewhere. I don't have them with me. But yeah, like so Satellar Knights was a really cool generic rank 4 light warrior deck, and it was such a basic concept of the deck, and it just ran a bunch of traps, and it like that along with Shadows being one of at the time the greatest fusion deck we've ever seen, and then Burning Abyss being one of the greatest floating decks of all time, and even Yang Zing, again, as terrible as Yang Zing was, it was a really good synchro deck. And all of these decks, it just made Fire Fist, Mermails, Hat, Medolce, Bujin, Sylvans, it just made them irrelevant. It was what an insane time. So I think, and people do love their Satellar Knights, they love their Burning Abyss, they love their Shadows. So it seems on that poll, people do say that if ever there is a retro format that they want to see become a thing, it's Duelist Alliance format. And I can kind of see that. It was just kind of boring. Well, not boring. It was interesting because at the regional that I first went to, that's all it was. At all the tables, not even the top tables, just like all the tables, it was just mainly those 3 decks: Satellar Knights, Shadows, Burning Abyss. If you weren't playing one of those 3 decks, it was like, well, you're gonna have a really hard time playing competitively. So wow, what a weird time to. But it's interesting. Yeah. Now I guess to answer the question about like what's going on with my life right now, like I said before, my life is incredible. I just have the best family right now. My wife, my son who just turned 2 not that long ago. We have a new puppy, and then that is like my life right now. It's just all about them, and then work and other important things, and then my hobbies. So that's why Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon have just not been a real big part of my life for the longest time. I haven't really played like Yu-Gi-Oh! Since probably since the pandemic. When that just kind of happened, I just slowly started, like, I was picking up the game and I wanted to make fun decks, but I just never went to a tournament after that. I kind of just fell from grace for me. And then that's when I started getting more into just playing the old stuff, playing retro formats, and that kind of, like, as I mentioned before, it revitalized my love of the game. But it just hasn't, like, just going to tournaments and going to events was just not a thing anymore. My priorities have shifted, like, heavily with, you know, like, my family and everything. On occasion, I try to go to the card shops. I try to go to, like, the regionals or the YCSs just to go see some friends, see some people I haven't seen in a long time. If I can play the game, I would love to, because I still think the game is fun. So especially with retro formats being popular at the bigger events and regionals, they have, like, little side events. I would love to attend those more often. And even some local card shops that I like, some of the, it's like just places that hold, like, the local tournaments. Some of them are doing retro format tournaments, which is great. That's kind of like all I really have for that right now. But even so, I still don't have a lot of time to go to them. So it's still a luxury that I haven't, you know, it's a luxury I don't really have at all times. But still love it. As far as collecting in Yu-Gi-Oh, so when it comes to, like, my life goals for collecting in Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh is weird because compared to something like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh to me has always been, like, it's definitely nostalgic. Like, when I grew up, and I was in 6th grade when Yu-Gi-Oh, like, really became a thing, and we got, like, Legend of Blue Eyes and Metal Raiders, and those were very, like, iconic and memorable times for me. Like just, like, we didn't even know how to play the game. We just liked looking at these cool, like the artwork was insane for Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, you know, we just loved seeing, like, all these crazy artwork and monsters and, like, the Blue Eyes and the Dark Magicians. They were just cool. But then over time, as I kind of, like, stopped playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, and by playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, I, like, really, like my decks were, if I were to show you some of the decks I had, it was probably just like, oh, look, just a bunch of warriors and dragons. It's all just, like, just jank stuff. I never really, like, played competitively. It was just for fun with some of my friends. And then high school came around, and high school just kind of, again, made my priorities shift, and I just stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh. All my friends stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh. So it kind of just fell from, I just, you know, went out of my life. And then in college, I realized I had some friends who kept playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I met friends in college who played Yu-Gi-Oh. That's when I got sucked back into it, and it just so happened to be the Synchro era, right when, like, the era that is now known as Edison. That was the era when I got back into the game. So that's why Edison especially holds a huge place in my heart, because it made me fall in love with Yu-Gi-Oh all over again. And that's where I went super competitive, and I started going to tournaments and regionals and YCSs, and so that was a lot of fun. And it also made me get really into collecting and trying to get the valuable cards. Because I had some of my older cards, and they were, and like, in hindsight, they were good cards to have, like your original Jinzos and Mirror Forces and MSTs and all those staples. But obviously, a lot of cards were just worthless because they weren't really playable at the time. And I think I mentioned in my retro format video, it was retro formats that made some of these older cards valuable. But as far as collecting for me in Yu-Gi-Oh, I just wanted to get some of the iconic cards that I always loved when I was little. And again, as much as I love Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, I would love to have all these cards. They weren't really the ones I had to have. I really just wanted some of my, like, more iconic monsters that I've always liked, and that was mainly just, like, Black Skull Dragon, Dark Paladin. I don't know why, I just always thought those were cool for the old stuff, like the older cards. And then, but besides that, I don't have that much nostalgia for some of the older stuff. Maybe it was because I had that lull period where I stopped playing, so I just didn't really care as much, and I kind of just lost that, not lost the love, I just don't care as much as people who were consistently playing Yu-Gi-Oh forever. And that's kind of the thing. When it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it all became about, like, it became about playing the cards for me. Like, and I'll get into that when it comes to Pokemon, because I never played the actual Pokemon card game. I just like Pokemon as a whole. But for Yu-Gi-Oh, because of when I got into the game and started playing those decks, and then ever since then, you know, up until about 2020s, when I was just all super competitive and trying to get the best cards, get the cards that are the most valuable, the meta cards that are worth a lot of money, and I always wanted to trade up and, you know, buy low, sell high, just, you know, kind of doing that whole thing. But nothing really stuck with me with collecting until I got back into retro formats. Like, throughout my channel, you guys have seen me pick up some Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I love, and some cool stuff for the vault, and I always try to get some really cool looking cards, but there was really nothing that I just had to have as like a life goal collection. I honestly just wanted to get the decks that I loved. Like, take for example something like Gladiator Beast. Like, it became just like, I have some cards right here. Like, it just became like a goal of mine just to kind of like make this deck, like, you know, like max rarity. I just wanted to get the cards that made me fall in love with the game all over again. Like, that's all I really cared about. Even now, I kind of just want to get like the older stuff, but not like old stuff as in like retro stuff from like Edison and whatever. But I really don't care about getting all the Legend of Blue Eyes Ultra Rares and Secret Rares, all the Metal Raiders. As cool as it is, and I would love to have it, I just have no drive to do it. Maybe it's just me, and you can call me a fake collector. So be it. I don't know. Yeah, I just only really care about getting the cards that I want to have in like the actual decks that made me fall in love with the game all over again. So that kind of goes into Pokemon. My Pokemon goals are a lot different because Pokemon is a card game that I never played. I think I've learned how to play the game like on like my phone. There was like an app for playing Pokemon. I'm like, oh, so that's how you play the card game. But I never actually played it. I just liked Pokemon my whole life because I just loved like how Pokemon was huge when I came out. I was 9 years old when Pokemon became a thing. So it was like my whole childhood was just wrapped around Pokemon, like the movies, the TV show, the games, the cards. So when it came to the cards, I just wanted to look at them. I just wanted to have. I think I have a few here. I have my little. I just wanted to have like. Sorry, I have all my piece of cards over here in my little trunk here. I just wanted to have like the cards because I just thought they looked cool. I just liked I just love Charizard. I love Blastoise. I love Gengar. I love all those, especially the original 150. I just loved having them. I just wanted to look at them, and I think that's for a lot of people. Like that nostalgia hit, that visual like stimulating feeling you get is just by looking at the cards and then like looking at like specific Pokemon, like some of your favorites, and then that just is what like sucks you back into your childhood. Like at least that's how it is for me. Like so how like while Yu-Gi-Oh was more like I just want to get the iconic cards that I would actually like physically hold and play and have those fun memories with. Pokemon's different because what I really want to do, and I don't have the cards with me, but is complete my binder of the original base Fossil and Jungle, because that's what I like, and Team Rocket and all the other ones too. But like those main ones, like base set, I like first edition base set. I call it first base. Like first base cards are just, to me, that's top of the line. I know modern Pokemon right now is insanely popular, and there's probably a lot more money to be made in modern Pokemon because people just keep buying it, and the prices are going up and up and up, and so people can easily flip these cards a lot quicker and easier. Base set cards, or I should just say that the more vintage stuff is absolutely worth more, but a lot of people don't have that kind of money to spend right now. And although the cards are definitely going slowly up in price, which sucks because I still have to get some of the cards to finish my original base set, but like that's all I really care about for Pokemon. If I can get all of the Pokemon cards for base, Fossil, and Jungle, and then ideally move my way up to getting all the Team Rocket stuff, the gym cards, the E series cards like Expedition, Aquapolis, Skyridge, because at that time I really wasn't collecting Pokemon as much, so I missed that whole era, which really sucks because it's obviously super amazing right now. But I'm picking up some of my favorites. I've shown on the channel. I pick up my Tyrannotars from all those eras. I pick up all my favorite Pokemon. At least I try to. So as far as goals go, the main goal I really have is probably just finishing first base and Fossil and Jungle. Mainly first base. That's my life goal. When I die, I want to be able to say I have the original, like all of the original first base cards and as many copies of each. I feel like you can't have too many of those. And one day maybe they can be good retirement money. I can use it to pay for all my kids' college. Like that's kind of like my goal. I don't literally actually want to go to my grave with the binder like in my hand. I just want to have it, so I have it for I can enjoy it with my family, enjoy it with my son, my future kids, and then one day hand it off to them, or just use it to potentially have a nice little retirement fund and just pay off my kids' loans and everything. That's kind of like my goal. I think that's probably what most parents want to do, is to have those funds, or have that whatever, that nest egg. So that way you can just live comfortably and enjoy the cards along the way. We're about 20 minutes in, so I think that's probably the best I can do right now to kind of answer both of your questions. I definitely want to talk more about what's going on with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and other card games too, because like my next video I want to talk about like why we're potentially seeing these crazy like card prices, and I think a lot of it comes down to some of the modern ways people are getting cards, and I mean like ripping ships, whatnot. I have a lot of theories about that, so that'll be in our next video. So Dr. Chickens, Jamie, I hope I answered your questions. If anybody else has any other questions, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to make some other videos about some questions. I don't know, it's just fun talking in front of the camera and just talking to you guys about the things I love. So I enjoy it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, take it easy.